Live? You're live. Okay, let's see if anybody joins. Okay. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Just going to look at this thing. Right now it's doing a thing where if I activate my smoke detector, it instead of playing the message, it decides to play its own little thing. And I really don't have an explanation as to why it's doing that. So I'm going to hit this and it's going to do a verification sort of thing, which let me get my open terminal session going. And just like that, it's connected. And here we go. Yeah, I really have no explanation for this. Hey, how's it going? So anyway, reset this. Yeah. So right here, I'm going to, no, don't save current session. So right now I have my laptop hooked up to the panel via the RS-232, and right now a trouble just came in. So let me go back to my terminal real quick, actually, and acknowledge that trouble. And then I got another one that's going to come in. I'll acknowledge that one too. And yeah, then we'll see about trying to fix that message, because that is really weird. I mean, it's definitely a good way to get people out of the building, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. I don't imagine many people that are going to want to stick around with a sound like that. So anyway, I'm going to go to here. I'm going to do, I'm going to go to messages, and I'm going to hit download. And I don't know why they call it downloading, because the action is not being initiated from the panel. It's being initiated from the laptop. It's just like saying, you know, oh, I'm downloading a video to YouTube. No, you're uploading. You're uploading. And then they call pulling the program, they call that uploading. Which, no, that is downloading. You're downloading it from the panel. And this that I'm doing is uploading. So, yeah. I don't know why the fire protection industry decided, you know, that's the standard, you know, because it's not just Honeywell that, you know, calls it that. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's one of those things that's just like, you know, in the eye of the beholder. You know, it makes sense to some people and not so much to others. So, yeah. Transferring messages on this thing takes a while. I have no idea why. It actually failed the first time around, and I had to restart it. So, yeah, hopefully it won't take as long this time. But, yeah, while we wait, I guess I'll change out this speaker strobe. I'll change it out to one of those. I don't really know which one I want to do. And unfortunately, I cannot use the rear camera because this is what it looks like. Thanks to my new screen protector, my rear camera, everything that goes to my rear camera now looks like this. So, yeah, it's kind of a cool effect, though. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah. So, anyway, while this is doing its thing, go ahead and change out this speaker strobe. So, it's already unscrewed. And it's going to send the panel into trouble right there. As you can see, now it's blinking. All right, it's transferring the first message, and it looks like it's doing the same thing that it was before. So I don't like that. But we'll have to see. And if not, then I'm going to have to dig in a little deeper and see exactly what's going on. But I haven't ever had a problem like that before. At the same time, this is the first system I've ever tested these messages on, so there is that. But let me get the tripod just so I can set this up, and y'all can watch as I replace this AV. The AV I just took down is the SpectraLert Advance speaker strobe, and I'm going to be switching it out with my L series. I cinched those down pretty good, looks like. So, yeah. Okay, there's those out. Take these resistors out too, just because I was actually on a hunt looking for this one yesterday. That was not fun. Oh, my fat stomach's in the way. Jeez. Ooh. And I need to find the base plate for the L series. I don't know where it went. So I guess for now, maybe without it. But I want to see if I can find, because I have a couple L series devices. Yeah, I do not know where the base plate went. What the heck? I literally just had it. What in the world is going on here? It's still sending that first message into the panel. It's taking a long time. So, yeah, what in the world did I do with that thing? This is a common thing for me. Like, I'll lose something, and then I'll find it, and it was literally right in front of me. And I figured that out after I've been looking for it for like 20 minutes. Not even kidding. Well, here's a base plate and a speaker strobe, but this is for a ceiling device and a ceiling device only. Whereas the base plate for the wall devices, they can actually take the wall and the ceiling devices. Oh, here's the base plate. It was behind my laptop. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead, slide this on here. That's what's nice about keyholes, is you can just slide the base plate right on, not have to take the screws out. Because, you know, lining up the screws can be a bit of a bear sometimes. So, I'm just going to tighten that down. All right, and ow. One of the reasons I hate stranded wire is you can't ever avoid it getting tangled up like this, whereas solid core wire, you won't ever have that problem. And just go ahead, tighten that down, tighten this down, and then tighten this down and this down. So Yeah, make sure everything is on there good. And then I am going to go ahead and throw my device on and make sure the settings are all correct. It's the way I want them. Wow, I got 6 people on here right now just watching me change out a speaker strobe. And this is the System Sensor L series. These are actually my favorite as far as looks go. I love the way that these things look. I know they're interesting, but yeah, I like the way that they look. You know, very, very modern. So, yeah. Huh, YouTube is still weird with their notification system. Who here is surprised? All right, so now the first message has finished, and now it's just blowing through the rest of them. So, yeah. Yeah. This thing is definitely weird as well. But, yeah, and then my smoke detector right here. I wish I had a different box on here because the lights are not perfectly parallel or perpendicular to the ground. You know, they're at an angle. And I think that just looks really weird, you know? It's not supposed to look like that. And check this out. You might see the lights blinking. Or, no, it doesn't do it on this one. There were some simplex detectors I was taking down one time, and they would do that. The lights would keep blinking long after you disconnected it. My project manager was like, how is that possible? I was like, oh, capacitors, that's how. So yeah, okay, it just finished the third message. Now it is on to the fourth one. It is doing the weather message. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to test any messages beyond the first 2 for right now because my ASM doesn't work, and that's the only way that you can activate them, as far as I know. This thing over here in the that cover plate, that is a supervisory switch. That is supposed to activate the weather message, but for some reason it just doesn't. So, yeah. But hopefully someday I'll be able to figure it out. Maybe you actually have to have it set up as a mass notification system to be able to do that. And in order to have a mass notification system, you absolutely have to have a, which is the screen that I bought. And unfortunately, I'm not able to get it to work. So the way that I am doing this system, or the way that I wanted to do it, is I wanted to get a brand new main board, but I don't have one. And the ones that I bought locked out. So they're locked out, which means I can't do anything with them. I don't have the password for them. This one I do. And this is a first-gen main board, so this one's quite a bit older. So it's not going to be able to work with the screen that I have, because the screen that I have is a second generation. It was literally the cheapest one I could find on eBay. It was even cheaper than the any of the screens that I could find that are supposed to go in here. So I had to change everything. I had to switch out the door, because on the other door is where I have the NGA. And I still have that right here for you. So this door, I bought this for my NGA. You know, it's designed specifically for it. You can see right there, it's a giant touchscreen. I actually got it brand new for $230. These are usually like $1,000 Enunciator. So I got an absolute steal on that. But because I did, it kind of messed me up because I don't want to sell it, buy another one, and then discover that the password on that one is unknown and be locked out of that. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully the rest of this will go better and I won't have to deal with any sort of nonsense like that. Whoa. Oh, it's fireworks. Out here in the country, gunshots are not uncommon. Those were not gunshots, though. Those were fireworks, actually. But I did think that they were gunshots at first. And then I go outside, and my dad's pointing to the direction they're coming from, and then I see, oh, it's fireworks. So, yeah. Hopefully, we won't be making fireworks out of this system. Just because... Okay, here's a last message. Here's a last message. But yeah, it was getting stuck on message 7 for some reason. It got stuck on 3% for like 20 minutes. I was like, what is going on? So I disconnected it and I closed the application, which it won't actually let you close. You see, it can't do the request operation until the job gets completed. But yeah, so that's been completed successfully. So now I am going to go over to my terminal again, connect, and I'm going to trip the smoke detector and see what happens. It's going to send it into verification. See right there, verification. See, it's lighting up green. And then those lights will turn off. And panel starting to make noise. Kind of sounds like dial-up. And here we go. It's doing the same thing as before. Like, why would it do that? That's just wrong. So, yeah. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate because I really wanted that message to work. But something that I know will work is this. So right here, I got my pull station. It's open right now, but hit that. Whoopsie. That actually did not catch. And that actually did not activate. There we go. And
your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
all right.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately.
I'm going to turn that off.
Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building.
Just for now.
Do not use elevators.
Actually, I just remembered, I do not have the GA. I'm going to set that back. I'm going to set that back up. So I'm going to go to cam my audio outputs. I can show the software a little bit here. I am going to pick a message here. So like this one, it goes whenever the smoke detector is activated. This one goes with the pull station. And then these are like auxiliary. Whoa. Whoopsie.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been
All right. Whoopsie. Yep. Not resetting the pull station. Wonderful. So I cam each of these messages. So like this one goes for supervisory, but for some reason it's not working at all. Like if I plug this thing in and create a short, it's not going to play the message for some reason. And like I said, I suspect I actually have to have the NGA in order to make that actually work and have it act as a mass notification system. I guess that's one of the ways they try and get you, you know? But whatever. That did not work to short it, so let me try something else here. Let me get... There we go. Working. Not setting the message off. And then restore. That should restore. There we go. So I need to remember which of these is my GA message. Okay, so message 5 is that one. What? Not in standard format. Oh, well, no wonder. This one is not in the standard format. So I may have to reconfigure it. This is the format that they should be in, but yeah, these are Sun files. So let me go into my Audacity, because this thing, it shouldn't be, you know, sounding like an industrial alarm. You know, it's not that kind of thing. So let's import our audio from the where's my voice files? Okay, you know, it'll just be easier if I go into here, go into my voice files, go into my Gamewell, and then bring this in here. That's what it should sound like.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
Okay, that sounds pretty bad anyway. So I'm going to figure something else out. I might go to this one. Okay, so fire alarm with elevator. No, that sounds bad. So this one's quiet. What in the world? Why is that one so quiet? That is definitely not up to code at all. I can't even use that. I can't even justify using that one. But yeah, this is the original message I had.
May I have your attention, please? A fire-related emergency has been reported on the property.
And that one is just like, it's a pretty cool one, but it doesn't really have that sense of urgency in it, you know? So, yeah. Let me find, okay, so I'm gonna do, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of removing this one and having to redump it, I'm going to recam message 5 for node 1 group 1. because I think that will be a little bit. So I'm going to get rid of that right there just for now. And this is going to be node 1, group 1. Okay. Yeah, just for now. I'm going to do it like that. And then we go back to communication. But actually, let me look into why the supervisory thing is not activating it. So I'm going to go into the system status map, and I'm going to go into INX, right? Yeah, common mode status. No, actually. No, I'd want to go into main board for that. It'll be condition flags. And yeah, supervisory right here. So I don't know why it's not doing it. So, but yeah, whatever, I guess, right? So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So silence request is 400. Supervisory pending. Maybe I can try supervisory pending. So what I'll do is, oh, and you know what? It might not actually be that. No, it is that, because I have the amplifier itself set to output on alarm or supervisory. So putting on supervisory, I have no idea. So try that, and then message 5. I'm just going to do that for now. So anyway, let's go back to COM, and we will do validation. It might give me a problem here, just because I put the same bit in the equation twice. No, it didn't give me anything. Okay. So yeah, you absolutely have to do validation before you can even send it to the panel. So it's kind of a, you know, like a nice little security feature. The messages this time. Hey, Kyle. So anyway, completed successfully. That's very quick. Very, very quick. So yeah. Anyway, that was successful. So let's go to the terminal. And there's troubles. Go ahead and acknowledge those. I don't know what is causing the 3 troubles. But anyway, let's go ahead and activate the smoke detector again. Hopefully it will do what it is supposed to do. And, whoa, okay, so I got 4 troubles now? What in the world? So, wow, I got 10 people watching me just mess around with a fire alarm system. Local CC Winans fan. Welcome to the channel. All right, so above FACU. Okay, I've got a tally fault. I have never seen that before. And there we go.
Your attention, please. A fire has been reported in the building. To the nearest exit and leave the building. Do not use the elevator. Proceed to the nearest exit and leave the building.
What? gonna have to see if I can extract this as it is. That might actually work. Oh my god, man. That is unbelievable. What happens if I hit my pull station? Nothing happens because it's already activated the second message. It's something weird with the audio files, because like the message that it does that on is message number 1, which is yeah, I mean pretty much every fire alarm system is like a Halloween thing because they're all scary. It's supposed to be scary. But yeah, whoops and F2 fire with elevator. It's supposed to be instead of playing that noise, it's supposed to sound like this.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? There is a fire emergency in the building. You are to leave the building by the nearest exit or exit stair. Do not use the elevator.
So yeah, I don't know why in the world it's doing that. But yeah. So weird. I could do that, but the total time of the messages combined cannot exceed 180 seconds, and I can only put 17 more seconds on here. But I definitely could do that. That is definitely something that would be doable. So, yeah, I mean, these are all the messages I have. This is the one that it was just playing completely fine. And then it went into the messed up version of this one. So let me see what message, because I mean, I've never had that happen with any of my other messages. Like I originally had this one on here and it worked just fine. So yeah. And save that. And see, it's fine. This one is completely fine, but this one, I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway, because it's not a very good message. So yeah. But anyway, let me try my weather message again. I seriously doubt it's gonna work, but always worth a shot. Yeah, it ain't working. So there's that. I guess I do have to have the NGA on the thing to make that work, to make it play that message for a specific supervisory. But and then message 2 and message 6 are the exact same thing. But yeah. Of course, I can show you the message that goes whenever I hit the pull station. So, let me get to reach the pull station, hit that. What? What? Okay. Why is it doing that now? Oh man, what did I mess up on this thing? Okay, yeah, I think I am gonna have to redo all of the messages on this thing. So let me go to three rounds of beeps, which is It's literally just, or no, that's in 3. It's going to be that one. And then only test. Which honestly, I could just get rid of these messages for right now. Just because I'm not going to be using them. So I'll go ahead, remove those. And we'll have this message. Bells, I got you. I got you. Hold on. Hold that thought. I got the 440 hertz chime. Thanks for giving me that idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and validate real quick. Just node 2. This is lightning fast. And then hit download, which again makes no sense because really it's uploading to the panel. You're not downloading to the panel unless the action is being initiated from the panel. Anyway. Ooh, my charging cable is just long enough to reach my phone. So it's going to resend the messages, which is just going to be message 1 and message 2. So yeah, and then I'll see if I can get the GA timer working. But yeah. I love these panels. I love E3s. And, you know, this opportunity that I have to be able to mess with mine really is amazing. Next, I just need to find a newer main board so that I can make my NGA work on it. Because this one that I have is really old. It's from like 2012. Or no, this one's from 2013. So yeah, this process takes a while. It takes way longer than it takes to actually dump the configuration. I don't know why. And the audio messages are already in a downloadable format. See, I guess somehow or another, in the midst of that one alarm, the messages got corrupted or something like that. So, yeah, that's fun. I don't know why this is taking so long, though. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go into my task manager, and I'm going to go ahead and close out CamWorks. Because the way that it's set up, you can't actually close it out, you know, if it's in the middle of doing a download. It's a nice safety feature so you don't close it out on accident because, oh my God, if you ever did, you were looking for all kinds of trouble. You'd probably brick the panel and you are not going to have a good day. I've done it on this one once. But yeah, so these things literally teach you patience. Especially the screens. If you're putting in the password on the screen, like if you go too fast, it just stops, it just ignores your inputs. So like you gotta be like, you know, a button a second. So, yeah, you can't just type it all in really quick. You gotta do one button per second, really slow. And that's how it teaches you patience. So, go to my test configuration. The demo board one is the one that I have set up for this, but that has the NGA on it, and like I said, it's just not going to work. So let's try this again, make sure the messages are good, and let's go ahead, dump this. Hopefully it don't take that long. Oh, you know what? I think I need to do the configuration first and then, yeah, see, it won't let me close out. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and close out of that again. That time it really did not want me to close it, but I did anyway. So I think what I need to do is I need to send the configuration first and then the messages. So if I go to this again, I'm going to go into my test. And I'm going to change up my cams for the audio outputs for my recorded messages. Just for now, I am going to delete that, whoopsie, delete that one, this one, and this one, just so we don't have any sort of conflict. So, yeah, the reason you heard it pop whenever the supervisory went, it's because of this bit right here. It does activate the amplifier, but no message would play for some reason. I don't know why. It's really annoying. So, yeah. Anyway, let's try it now. And it'll make you save the changes. It's very good about that. You can even set it to do an autosave type of thing. So we might get some problems. Like right here, yeah, there's a problem. So it's showing input group 1 for some reason is showing that. But I wasn't having a problem with that before. So let me go to my cam output groups on here. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to use that for anything like that, so. Yes, my passcode is 123456. And see, there it goes. It sends it really fast. And just like that, it's done. And as soon as that's done, go ahead and send the message. Okay, it's not getting the message yet again. It still hasn't gotten the message. One of these days you're gonna get it, and not in the way that you want it. I mean, that already did happen because it played it back and it just sounded like, you know? But yeah. Oh, jeez. So, yeah. Yeah, this part always takes the longest. And I have no idea why. Maybe it's just being dumb. I don't know. For this, I swear, I feel like I could go and take a shower, come back, and this will still be sitting like this. So, yeah. That's kind of what I'm dealing with this thing. You know, dealing with some unknowns and, you know, parts that are older than I like them to be. Because, like, I originally wanted to use my NGA, but, like I said, the board's too old to support it because it's a second-gen NGA, so I took a gamble, and I am bidding on an SLP screen, which is a screen that was originally supposed to just be for the S3s, but I think people liked them so much they were ordering them for the E3s, which I don't blame them because the LCD E3 is kind of a crappy one. You know, after a while, it degrades to the point where it starts to show some really crazy stuff. Like, it'll show stuff in a different language sometimes. Characters will get misplaced. So, yeah. Now, when the panel is in this state, you absolutely do not want to do anything to try to mess it up. Like, you don't want to press any buttons, activate any alarms, anything like that. It's like, I would even unplug your SLCs, you know, if it makes sense to do so. Thankfully, supervisories do not hinder the ability to program. I don't think they do, because they didn't hinder my ability to program on this one. I don't think it did, but yeah. I know Honeywell is notorious for panel programming not being possible while the thing is in supervisory. So yeah, it's just taking forever. Geez, I might even be able to switch the speaker strobe again and, you know, it still be on this exact same status. Wow, one of my cousins just texted. Oh, there it goes. One of my cousins just texted me, and I haven't seen him in a long time. He lives out in West Texas. Okay, yeah. Like I said, this thing teaches you patience. Okay. And I don't like this message all that much, but whatever, you know. I mean, even though it's, you know, it doesn't really have that sense of urgency in the tonality, it's one of those ones that, like, you know, is the one that you rarely hear. And it could be one of those things where, like, you know, I never hear this one, but when I do, that means it's really bad. So, yeah, because then... Oh, I know. Usually, you know, like, if you're waiting this long, usually that's when you call tech support, you know, because believe me, tech support is your best friend. Your two rules of thumb in the field are don't leave the customer worse than you started, and tech support is your best friend. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah. Tech support is your best friend. Yes, I actually watched that stream back because I was really bored one night, and I even brought it up in front of him because I just saw him like a week or so ago, and yeah, we had a good time. But yes, I did learn about that when Dan Hood and that whole scene was at his house. Okay, that is done. So let's go ahead and try this out. All right. Hit my pull station.
May I have your attention, please?
Yep.
A fire-related emergency has been reported on the property. Please remain calm and exit the building using the nearest exit. Do not use the elevators.
That's not the one it's supposed to be doing.
May I have attention, please? A fire-related emergency has been reported on the property. Please remain calm and exit the building using the nearest exit. Do not use the elevators.
That's supposed to be the second alarm message for like if the smoke detector is activated or if the GA timer runs out. That's a message that's supposed to be like, okay, this is a worst case scenario. So like initially fire alarm systems, if it's a high-rise building, if there's an alarm activated, it's going to sound the signals on that floor and the surrounding floors. Just the floor above and below. And then usually after 5 minutes, if that is still activated, then it sends the rest of the building into alarm. And the way I like to do that is I use my first message, which is the one that I showed earlier, and then it whoops, what? And then use the other message for whenever the GA timer runs out. So, okay, yeah, I had a little bit of a cam issue right here. So, yeah, but yeah. Okay, let's try this again. Yes, go ahead and save that. Oh, yeah, and I got to validate it again. So that's why it was giving me that trouble, was because I didn't ever put it back in that equation for that first message. So, yeah, that's one thing that this is really good at doing. What? Okay, come on now. It literally just told me there were no configuration errors, and it was still saying, no, there was no validation done. So, freaking lots of everything, you know? Okay, now we got a yes on the validation. Clear for takeoff. Shout out to the amigos. And there we go. So hopefully, oh boy, it's not responding. Hopefully now it will behave the way that it's supposed to. So let me go back to my tools, and I'm going to go to the OTS E3, and that stands for Open Terminal Session. Get out of here. Okay, so Open Terminal Session, go ahead and connect it. And you can see there's trouble. Acknowledge that. And no, do not reset. I don't want to reset. Okay, so it acknowledged 3 troubles. So let's hit the pull station again. There we go. There's your bell, local CC.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
Oh wow, it's actually in sync with the strobe. That's funny. Not anymore though.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated.
Now if I activate the smoke.
Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
Watch the screen as I activate the smoke detector right here.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
May I have your attention, please? A fire-related emergency has been reported on the property. Please remain calm and exit the building using the nearest exit. Do not use the elevators.
Wow, that actually worked. Oh my god, that was awesome. It actually worked exactly how I wanted it to. Because like earlier I tried to do the smoke first and then the pull station message would not override the smoke message. So that is awesome. I also want to see if my GA timer will work. So that's the last thing that I'm going to test here, and then I will hop off. So I'm going to do... Okay, so node 1, group 1. And I'm also going to add OR node 2, group 418, which is my GA timer. And I'll show you. So 418 is within that range that shows it's a scratch pad. So right here, this is a scratch pad. Whenever I reference group 418 in node 2, it's going to reference this scratch pad, which has this equation in it. And it's really nice to have that, you know, instead of like if you have to change something, you just change it in the scratch pad and then you don't have to change all your equations throughout. You know, you just change the scratch pad equation, then you don't even have to change the scratch pad that it's referencing. Anyway, lots of scratch pads. But yeah. Let me... Okay, so communication. So I'm going to hit the pull station, let it run for 2 minutes, and then it should activate that GA timer. And that will be cool. So let's go ahead and we'll dump it again. So yeah, local CC, you got your bell tones. And thankfully, you know, since it's a non-proprietary, you know, audio format, I can put anything on here that I want. Whereas with the 4100 panels, you know, the file type is like CC4100U or something like that. It's very, very proprietary. It's like you can't make any new messages. You have to customize them like within the software. All right, well, let's try and hit this. Or let it run for 2 minutes. See what happens.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations.
I'm also going to change the
immediately.
speaker strobe
Proceed to the
so you can
nearest
see how the
fire
different ones
exit and
sound.
leave the building. Do not use elevators.
I'm going to change this out so you can get a sound difference. You should be able to hear a difference in the sounds. I mean, technically, you're not supposed to be able to, but for some reason you are. Here. Thankfully, the wall plates make it so that you can put a ceiling device on them. So, yeah. It's not going on. There we go.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators. Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
So, yeah. There is definitely a difference. There really shouldn't be, but there is. But both of them do sound really good, and they both look really nice. I love the L-Series speakers and speaker strobes. They look awesome and they sound great.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately.
Let me try turning the volume up. Let me try turning the volume up on this thing. So the way you do that is you go on the back to the wattage settings, and I am going to set this to 1/2 watt now and give this a try.
Nearest fire exit and leave the building.
There we go.
Do not use elevators. Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
Very pleasant.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
Huh. The GA timer's not going.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has...
Yeah, at 1/2 watt, it still sounds pretty good, but the louder you go, the less intelligible it gets. So I will demonstrate that right now. This is 1 watt now.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
That's about what the sealing device sounds like. That's just insane to me. But, yeah, there's a bit of a comparison there to be had for sure. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the GA timer does not work the way that I want it to. But, yeah. You know, it happens. Oh, whoops. I left the pull station activated. So, now let's set this to 1 watt and see how it sounds.
Operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
Way louder than the wall.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm...
That's just insane. It's actually in sync.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
It's actually staying in tempo with the strobe better this time.
Your attention...
Right as I say that, it gets out of sync. But yeah, this pretty interesting how things like that can be so different across even the same manufacturers, you know? But let's activate the smoke.
Your attention, please. The fire alarm in this building has been activated. Cease operations immediately. Proceed to the nearest fire exit and leave the building. Do not use elevators.
May I have your attention, please?